Okay then. Sure. So course content is what is automation testing, what is Selenium, and what is WebDriver, Core Java, TestNG, Maven, POM is a base object model, frameworks, Jenkins. So these are all the high level concepts I'm going to cover. So let me brief it. What is manual testing? When manual testing is feasible. So if manual project is a short term, then I'll go with manual testing. So because we need to spend time on writing our scripts, right? And that's why if a project is short term, then automation testing is not feasible. Then we'll go with manual testing only. So testing need to be performed on the UI aspects, like UI thing, usability, and we have the fonts, colors. So we need to verify those things. We'll go with the manual testing. And the project is in initial development stage, then we'll go prefer manual testing, because if it is initial development stage, the developers will change some modifications. So if it is UI is changed, then we need to change our scripts. So that is a little bit a headache. That's why. So if it is initial development stage, then we'll do manual testing only. If it is after development, everything is developed, like some 80% or 70% of development is done, then we'll go with automation. So need to perform ad hoc or exploratory testing. So ad hoc testing, we need to have some knowledge on the application. So means we don't have any proper documents to test the application. So based on that, based on our knowledge, we need to test the application. So and coming to exploratory, based on our experience and domain knowledge, we perform on exploratory and ad hoc testings. So for these two testings, manual testing is preferable. And coming to the advantages of manual testing, it can be preferred any kind of application. So I'll go with if it is a client server application, desktop application, or web-based application, whatever the application it is, will perform manual testing. So it is preferred UI-based testing, ad hoc testing, exploratory testing, changing requirements very frequently. So if the requirements are changing very frequently, then I'll prefer manual testing is go with manual testing is an advantage, because if it is changing the requirements, I will keep in the loop of changing our scripts. That's the reason. So manual testing is preferable. Start immediately. Once the build is ready, we can start executing our manual test cases. But coming to the automation, we can't start immediately. We'll spend some time for ready our scripts. Newly designed test cases. Newly designed test cases also, manual testing is preferable, because we need to execute immediately and must be performed before automation. So to go with automation, manual testing must be performed at least once on the application. Short life cycle projects also, manual testing is an advantage. So need to having any knowledge on tool or programming knowledge. So to perform manual testing, we don't have knowledge on any programming or tool based thing. So without any knowledge also, we can perform manual testing. So coming to the disadvantages, it's time consuming. So to get the results, we need to wait, and it take a lot of time because we are doing manually, right? So it's very expensive when compared to the automation over a long run. Because if a project is some 10 years project, okay, for 10 years to execute 100 test cases on daily basis, so it took a lot of expense, right? A lot of money organizations need to spend on manual testing. So if we're ready with the scripts to execute 100 test cases, it took around 30 minutes on daily basis. So we'll just click on run. So it will give the results, right? So that's the reason manual testing is very expensive when compared to the automation. It's a long run. Less reliable compared to the automation, because reliability is less, because we are doing manual, right? So maybe some steps are missing. In that case, expected result also will change. So not feasible for regression. Regression testing. So if we are going to deploy to the some environment, so in that case, so we'll run the regression test. So at the time, we need to take the decisions based on the regression result. So at the time, we'll get the quick results, and the reliability is more important on the regression. So that's the reason for regression testing, automation is always preferable. So what is automation? Process of testing the application using automation tool. By using the automation tool, we are testing. So in coming to the manual, as a humans, we will perform the actions. So coming to the automation script will perform the actions on the application. Tools available in the market, we have QTP, Selenium, RFT. So these are the tools. Selenium is an open source, we'll discuss in the later. So suitable for automation is suitable for regression testing, load testing, performance testing. So these two are coming under non-functional testing. Regression is coming under functional testing. So these are the three major suitable tests will perform on automation. So not suitable for user interface testing, exploratory, ad hoc testing. So for these three type of testing, automation is not suitable. When to perform automation over manual? So if it is a repetitive task, we need to run some smoke test on daily basis. What will do? 100 tests we have. So 100 tests, smoke test we need to perform on daily basis. So for that that is the case. We need to repetitive do the same thing on daily basis, right? So for this type of tests, we'll do the automation. Prefer the automation. Time consuming task. If I have the report on the web and I need to compare that report with the database result, so I'll query the database and I'll get the result from the database, and I'll compare the values what we have in database and what we have in the report. In that case, it is taking some time, right, for comparison. So for that type of time consuming tasks also, automation is preferable. Parallel testing. So I have the scenario like client asked me to run parallelly on Windows. I have Windows Mission and Windows. We have different browsers like Chrome, Firefox, and IE, and parallelly will work on Linux Mission with Chrome and Safari on Mac. So these tests will run parallelly. So in that case, automation is preferable. Non-functional testing also, automation is preferable. So to avoid human errors. So what is the advantages of Selenium? So it is a open source testing tool. So in the market we have QTP. It is a paid tool, and we need to pay some dollars to the vendor. It is a HP tool. So we'll go with the Selenium. We don't have to pay anything to the vendor. So it is a open source. Code is available in the internet. We'll download it and we can use that code. It have multiple language support. So as I said, if I know Java, I'll write my Selenium scripts in Java. If someone knows Python, they will write Selenium scripts in Python. Like it supports Python, Ruby, Perl, Java, and PHP. Like many languages it will support. And coming to the OS support, it supports Windows, Mac, Linux, Solaris. So these are all the platforms it will support. And browser support. So it supports multiple browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Opera, Internet Explorer. These are the browsers it will support. But it will support all the browsers available in the market. So supports parallel test execution, as I said in the previous slide. So it supports parallel test execution. So coming to the disadvantages, we have no vendor support. So if I come across some issue, whom I can ask? If I don't have any vendor. So if I suppose I purchase some Samsung phone, so if there is an issue, I'll go to the support center and will give to the my mobile, give to them. So they will repair and they will support for 1 year, right? So like that. So if there is no vendor to whom I can ask, so for that is one disadvantages. But it will overcome with we have some large support based communities and forums we have available, like Stack Overflow. If you have any issue or error occurs, just search in the Stack Overflow. If it is not listed in the Stack Overflow, you can post it, a question there. A lot of user base is available in the Stack Overflow. Then you will get a reply within 1 hour to 1 day. Like supports only web-based application. As I said, Selenium supports only web-based applications, so it doesn't support Windows-based application. Like we have to we can't interact with our mission, like files and all. So but it can also overcome with it supports integrations like auto editing and robotic frameworks. So with these two,
I have a question. Shall we integrate with RDP mission? Suppose I'm working. Suppose I want to work on client machine side in remote desktop. Can we migrate Selenium with RDP machine to run our scripts?
Yes, and that will configure the node. So it will come on grid concept. So we'll specify the node. We'll run scripts. We'll design our scripts in our machine, and we'll run our scripts in the client machine. That's what we are asking, right? We'll do
Yes.
that. We'll do that using grid concept. So it will execute the parallel execution. So we'll have a server and hubs will be there. Hub and node will be there. So we'll configure our machine is hub, and we'll configure the remote missions as a node. So we'll connect with the hub with node. Then it will execute our scripts there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And not suitable for Android iOS apps. So this is Selenium 2.0. It supports only web-based applications. After that, they released 3.0. 3.0 will supports mobile automation testing. So there will supports Android and iOS apps. But as in Selenium, we can't support. We can't handle Android and iOS apps. So can't handle captcha, because captcha is an image. We can't read the text which is present on the image. So this is also disadvantage. Coming to the WebDriver architecture. So this is my client machine, and this is my server machine. Let me write down here. This is my client. Server. Okay, in my client machine, I wrote my scripts in Java. Okay, so let me take an example of writing my script into. I have Gmail URL. So hit the URL. Let me write pseudocode. Hit the URL. So after that, enter username, and enter password. After that, click on login. Okay, so this is my pseudocode which is written in the my Java. Okay, fine. After that, let me get this. In server I have two components, like this is my driver. This is my browser. So as I said, this is my client machine will have my Java code. So I'm trying to connect my client machine with the server. Okay, so how it will connect means while running my script, so my script will automatically convert it into JSON. Okay, so convert into JSON. Okay, my JSON code will reach to the server. So after reaching to the server, so my WebDriver receive this JSON code, and this JSON will understand by the driver. So what we have the actions, right? One is hit the URL, enter your name, enter password, and click on login, right? So it will give the instructions. My driver will give the instructions to the browser what need to perform. Okay, so in this case, first driver is speaking with the browser. So hit on URL. After hitting the URL, enter username, enter password, click on login. So driver is communicating with the browser. After communication is done, so after performing all the actions which I wrote in the Java, so it will give the response back to the driver, and from server to my client machine. So this communication is happen by using the HTTP protocol. Okay, so I have different browsers, right? Like let me Chrome, Firefox, IE. Okay, so to work with the different browser, I need to have different drivers. So for that, Chrome driver I need to download it. Firefox driver means Gecko driver, and Internet Explorer driver. So these are the drivers for corresponding browser. What I need to confirm is, so I'm working with the Chrome 91 version. So for that, I need to download Chrome driver 91. So supported driver version need to be downloaded. So that is the only one thing we need to focus. So I'm working with Chrome, let us say. So I'm working with Java. I'll write my script. So my script, while running my script is converted into JSON and reach to the driver. So my driver will speak to the browser, and it will give the instructions to the browser. So first hit the URL and hit the username, enter password, click on login button. So after clicking on login button, so the response give back to the driver will send to the client machine. So these are all this is the internally happens when we run our script. Okay, this is the architecture what we have in the for a WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver architecture. Okay, have any questions in this?
No.
Okay, okay, okay. Let me open course content. Okay, this is the course content. What is automation, and these are all the Java concepts we need to require to go through the Java concepts to work with the Selenium, and Eclipse is the IDE to write our scripts in Eclipse. So how to install, how to set up the Java, all the things we'll see in the Eclipse class. So WebDriver architecture, as I said, now this is the architecture, and browser navigation commands, how to open the URL, how to verify the title, how to read the page source, and how to close the browser, and how to navigate back and forward, how to refresh and navigate to the specific URL. So these are all the concepts we'll cover in navigations. And web elements, how to find the web elements, how to interact with the buttons, checkbox, radio buttons, links, how to enter the text in the text box. Okay, find all links on the page, and how to verify if the element is present or is displayed, is enabled, is selected. So these are the locators we have, like ID, name, link text, parcel link text, class name, tag name, XPath, CSS, and we have absolute and relative XPath. So these are all the concepts we'll cover in locators. So locators is very important because if you find the element, then only we can interact with that element, right? So that's the reason how to find the element is very important. After that, element identification, how to find element on different browsers. Okay, handling dynamic objects, validating the elements, we'll see it. So how to launch different browsers, so handling checkboxes and all the web elements, we can say, like waits. So okay, my when I run my script is executing very fast, and application may be slow sometimes, right? So if it is taking some time to load, but my WebDriver will not wait, so it is trying to find the element. So at that time my script will fail. So this is a synchronization concept. We need to wait our WebDriver to wait until my desired web element need to be loaded. So this is the synchronization we'll cover in this. And how to handle alerts, switch to windows, switching to frames. If I open my link in the if I open the click in the link, it will open the new tab. So how to switch to the new tab and how to interact the elements which are present in the new tab. So those parts will cover here. So in some cases we have alerts, so onload alerts, like web page alerts, like accept, cancel. It will show we need to click on accept or cancel, then only it will allow to perform next actions. So how to handle alerts, how to handle windows, switching to frames, and these things will be covered here. Actions is perform on mouse actions, so how to do perform a double click, how to click on right click. So these are all the actions we'll cover here. So testing is a unit testing framework, and we'll see how to group the test, how to, we have different annotations and dependent, how to run the our test by using testing. So priority, parallel testing, all these things. Assets is very important because will asset assets will use like verifying expected or actual or both are equal or not, like that will do the assertions. And we have framework like POM-based model, data driven, reading test from test data from Excel sheet by using PY's Apache jar. By using this, we'll read this data, test data from the Excel sheet. and Maven. So Maven is build tool. So we will add all dependencies in the pom.xml. So it is also very important. We'll have Jenkins. So Jenkins is an integration tool. We'll create a job in Jenkins and we'll run our scripts in the Jenkins. So Git is a source management tool. We'll commit all our scripts into the Git repository. So Log4j is logging, and we have Selenium grid concept. So these are all the high level concepts that I'm going to cover in this course. Have any questions, let me know.